All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I've got you guys a fantastic guest. Some of you may not know this. I mean, some of my viewers, but I'm pretty sure my Indian background sort of viewers or Bangladeshi or subcontinental, you probably already know Mr. DrogBABA. Everyone knows him as Baba. But for all the other viewers, you're in for a treat today. You really are in for a treat. Now, hopefully, down the track, there's going to be more collabs. But let's talk about some of the fans' concerns in recent times in regards to some of the transfers that's, just transfer news that's taking place.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, Mr. DrogBABA, namaste. How are you doing, sir?
Namaste, Miz. Namaste. Thank you so much for having me on. And it's always a pleasure to connect with Chelsea fans across the globe. And it's always fun to discuss, and especially in times like these when nothing is
Yes.
quite certain what a club is going to do. So, looking forward to a fun chat. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. It's honestly, it's a pleasure. You don't understand how happy I am to be able to talk to you. You're one of those ones, in an international level that I love listening to. There are a couple of other ones. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to bring them on in the channel, and maybe we can foster something down the track. But you're right. This is a fun time to talk about, transfers. Obviously, when games are on, things get a bit serious. Things get a bit heated. They didn't do this. He didn't do that. The ref did this. But when it comes to transfers, it's always exciting to talk about all sorts of stuff. Today, we're going to talk about three particular players. I thought maybe I will throw in Matthias Nunez, who was a bit of a flavor of the day yesterday, but maybe we'll keep that aside for the time being. But the three players I really want to talk to you about is not per se their transfer and why we're getting them. It's more the concerns around them that social media people are talking about. First up, let's talk about Raheem Sterling, Baba. Raheem Sterling to Chelsea is pretty much done and dusted. It's happening very soon. You've covered it in your channel. I've covered it in my channel. But the thing that I want to talk to you about is many people in the social media don't seem to be upbeat about this particular signing. They're like, Miz, calm down. Like, it's a signing. Let's not get too excited. Miz, he's got Foden, KDB, Bernardo Silva in Man City. Who he got in Chelsea? How is he going to get the service? Even that was one of my concerns. But overall, I'm thinking, he's a quality player, man. How can I not be excited? This is the first signing in top bowling era. Like, this guy's 27. Yes, he may be, I don't know, not maybe in his prime. Some would say, yes, 27 is a prime, but we have to remember he started playing football a long time ago when he was 16, 17. So he might have had his prime a while back, but still a quality player. I want to hear from you. Like, when you see these things in social media that, oh, come on, man. Like, okay, it's a signing, but let's not get too excited. We need to see who else is coming through. How are you feeling about Raheem Sterling?
I'm quite excited about Raheem Sterling, to be honest.
Come
I
on.
don't I don't get this narrative that he's not a quality player, or City scamming us that they got 45
CT
50
reject,
million out of
apparently.
us.
CT reject.
See, that is what I don't like about social media and Twitter these days. One bad performance or a patch of bad performance, and that sticks with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
For example, Harry Maguire, for example, if he has a crackerjack of a career from now on, but he'll still be remembered as a meme because of the performances that he's had. So what people usually say about Sterling is, oh, he misses a lot of chances. Oh, he's not a good finisher. Oh, you're just getting an English Timo Werner, this and that, this and that.
Have you seen that as well? I saw memes
Yes.
like, oh, this is just Timo, but just a better version. I'm like, that's a bit of a disrespect to Raheem Sterling.
I mean, people have slept on how Raheem Sterling's game has evolved in the past 2 seasons, especially his defensive work rate. The way he presses from the top. Specifically, I remember that performance against Man City in the second game at Etihad. Both the games ended in a 2-2 draw, but the second game, in which in the game in which Mahrez missed that chip in the very last second.
Yep.
Raheem Sterling was phenomenal in that game. If anyone who knows even tad bit about football, Raheem Sterling was absolutely crazy, and he did not have so many touches in the final third. it was because of his movement of the ball, the way he was, haggling the defenders of Liverpool. It was giving that space to Bernardo Silva, KDB to do their thing. And that is what we need. That is what we were missing from Timo Werner this season, which we saw glimpses of last season when we won the Champions League.
100%. 100%.
And the thing with Raheem Sterling is you have to understand that I don't understand this fan base. First, you want the manager to be in charge of every signing. Now, when it is evident that Tuchel has spoken to him personally and he wants him, and we are willing to make him a highest paid player, then you're like,
now it's a problem.
Sterling.
Now it's a problem.
now it's a problem. So I don't understand this hypocrisy of sorts. Like first you are trying, first you are saying that you'll back the manager, you'll back the new owners, you'll be patient, you'll give them time, this and that. And when they are, specifically handpicking the targets that they need, and they're getting it.
Yeah.
What is this signing? What Sterling's going to add to a team? So first sort your thing out and, just decide what you want in life. Then we'll have a discussion. Because I have, stopped replying to some accounts because seriously, the negativity is being spread by some of the reputed Chelsea fans account on Twitter. Yeah. I won't name them.
But Baba, you know what I do on Twitter? You know what I do? I tweet and I mute my own tweet. I just, because I said what I had to say. I don't care what you have to say. You can keep replying. I just muted because you're right. The negativity is too much. What I want to ask you is, some Chelsea fans are concerned. This is the other thing about Raheem Sterling. Where's the creativity? Raheem Sterling is not a creator. Okay, he's not a creator. It's not that he can't create. He can create as well. He can assist. But that's maybe not his special suit. Scoring is his special suit. And we need scorers. Let's be honest. We don't have scorers. So we need that. Someone who can at least hit 10 goals a season in the Premier League, please. Honestly, someone do that. So Raheem Sterling will do that. One of the things that I'm seeing, Baba, and I want to hear what you have to say about this. They're getting worried that, where's the creator? And I have to keep reminding them, what happened to, let's just say for argument's sake, if Reece James and Ben Chilwell are both fit? You have to remember last season, two of our most creative outlets were gone in a big portion of the season. There was a lot of creativity coming from Reece James, and there was a hell of a lot of chaos coming from Chilwell's end as well, whether it's scoring goals or crosses coming in, so on and so forth. So that's one thing. Let's not forget that those guys can create as well. The other factors, when are we going to start stepping up and saying, well, Havertz has to start creating as well. Well, Callum Hudson-Odoi has to start creating as well. Kovacic is a great midfielder, but he's got to start plugging away those assists after assist after assist. He needs to have like a benchmark that I want to have at least minimum 10 assists in the Premier League every season. All these fans, they're like, Miz, we need new players to come in and create. And the other factor that I want to say is, and this is where sometimes I feel like saying, even Thomas Tuchel, he needs to release some of the attacking prowess. We act as if, Baba, that our team is like some sort of a rubbish team. Like these guys they're not capable of anything. But some of these players are very, very good players. And I think it's time even Thomas Tuchel just allowed them to release themselves a little bit. We play at times a bit too conservative, sideways passes. We don't look for those threaded passes through the middle and be a little bit more adventurous. I mean, what's your perspective of it? Do you want to go out there and get more creators and replace some of these players? Or do you think Raheem Sterling is a good player who can play in the half spaces and do the damage in the final third? It's about time all the other players kind of stepped up.
I completely agree with you on the point that our wingbacks are our creators, definitely. And we struggled for the major part of the season when both of them were not available. And I think 4-0 Juventus win was the worst thing that could have happened to us. That game, we lost N'Golo Kante, we lost Chilwell in that game. I think Lukaku also got injured. I don't want to speak about Lukaku.
We don't talk about Lukaku.
he who must not be named. So actually, people, think what being creative is. You have to be a player like Kevin De Bruyne. You have to ding those balls behind the back line. You have to make those quick switches of play and all of those things. that is not necessarily always mean being creative. Being creative is to create chances. That's it. That's what I think when I think of creativity. It's not like, oh, I need a Thiago type creator. Oh, I need a Modric type creator who can, ding those balls from halfway lines. And, we have those. We don't have that kind of striker up top right now. Hopefully, we might have soon. We'll touch on that later on.
We'll touch on that. That's another touchy topic.
But when you speak about Chilwell and Reece James, the system that Tuchel has us playing, we need wing backs. We need good, really good wing backs because they are the ones who provide us creativity. Essentially, our wing backs become the extra forward that we need. Exactly. And because of the overloads that we create on either flank, then people like Mount, Havertz, or whoever the other guys, be it Werner or now Sterling, get the opportunity to do their thing. And that is when we get a chance. It's not necessarily that, okay, the wing backs will occupy a flank, they'll cross the ball in and we'll head the ball into the goal. No, that's not the case. They will occupy that space. Then the other, either of the midfielder of the double six, be it Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho, whoever is playing there, will support. The other wing back comes and occupies the space alongside three center backs and essentially becomes a four at the back while defending. Exactly. It's a very solid shape when you look at it. But the thing is, you need personnel to play that shape. If you have the exact personnel, and if the wing backs are fit, Reece James and Chilwell, I don't think that we need a creator, like an out and out creator.
Would you say, Baba, if last season, argument's sake, if Reece James and Chilwell weren't so heavily injured and they'd played, let's say, 85% of the season, they would have scored goals, they would have assisted. Do you think today we'd be sitting here and saying, yeah, we lack creativity in our team?
No. What we lack is good backups to our wing backs. That is something that I would say, because last season Alonso was decent in my opinion whenever he got the chances. Like, for example,
he has that one blunder that everyone then forgets. Oh, this guy.
See, that is why he's a backup. That is why he can't start over Chilwell. But unfortunately, he'll be leaving us because I am Alonso fan, contrary to many Chelsea fans who don't really like him. Again, as I've told you, you always be remembered for the blunders that you have committed. That Sarri season has put a blemish on Alonso's career for his whole life. He's never a player who can play in a back four. But coming back to the point, yes, definitely, I think we might not have won the title. It still would have, taken us a goal scorer to win the title. But definitely, we would have been there. We wouldn't have been struggling of sorts. Like, at one point, it looked like we might not make it in the top four. The way we were losing games left, right, and center in the latter stages of the season. Like when we lost that game against Arsenal, then we drew against Manchester. Yes, when we drew against Manchester United. So it was like, okay, we might not, be that good of a team that we thought we were at the start of the season. But it was all because of many reasons. The ownership changes, the injuries to wing backs, the COVID had hit so bad in December. I still remember in December, we were playing Wolves at Molineux and only 3 outfield players we had on the bench.
Yeah.
And
that was the whole, the pandemic and the testing positive and all that. Injuries kicked in.
Thomas Tuchel had said that every team has having their matches postponed, but why Chelsea is going to, Chelsea is playing every fixture week in, week out. And then, of course, the Lukaku interview. So it didn't help the team as a whole. So I think situations will be different. The context is very different this time round. The players are more, aware about their roles, their responsibilities in the team, what they need to do. The thing that I'm most concerned about is the center backs, what we are going to recruit. Definitely we'll be touching upon that also. But yeah, as far as the creativity part is concerned, I think if the wing backs are fit for the most part of the season, I don't think that we need an out and out creator. Yes, The Rafinha signing would have been absolutely magnificent because he is
100%.
your two in one. He's your
Two in
creator
one.
as well as an inside forward with a brilliant left foot that you need, which you thought ZH might be for you.
And the work rate from Rafinha as well, the off the ball defensive work rate as well is more like a Willian-esque sort of player that will drop deep and then help out. Look, you're right. I feel like it's time we start demanding on other players as well. Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, Kovacic, guys, you all need to be a little bit more expansive on your game now. You need
I
to
think this
showcase.
is a make or break season for Callum Hudson-Odoi. I seriously do think that because
Baba, even Havertz, I would say even Havertz. This would be his third season,
Havertz
72 million. Do you know what I mean?
Havertz has at least shown in patches that what he's capable of. Last season, for the better part of I think 3-4 months since January, I think he was our best player. He literally carried us through the season in some of the matches. So Havertz, I am quite hopeful of. The problem with Hudson-Odoi is like you look at the other players in his age group, like you look at Marcus Rashford, look at Phil Foden, you look at Mason Mount, who are in
absolutely leaving him. Yeah, they're leaving him.
Marcus Rashford, you can say, okay, he's had one bad season last time round, but he has, made a mark for himself.
Yeah, he's shown us what he's capable of.
Yes, he was in comparison with Mbappe when he was, starting round like Mbappe. Mbappe is on another planet right now.
Another planet.
I think, yes, he is the best footballer in the world without a shadow of a doubt right now. But I think Callum Hudson-Odoi is about time he stepped up, and he really showed and come into his own that okay, he needs to stake a claim in his team. The pay raise that he got, twisted many heads at that time. We had players like Tammy, Reece James, Mason Mount, all of those players we had. So apart from patches and flashes here and there, I have not seen so much from Callum Hudson-Odoi. He is talented. You can make a compilation, you can make a montage, brilliant moments, but when it has really mattered, he has failed to impress me, to be honest. So I really want, because it won't give nothing will make me more happy to see a Cobham graduate, make a name for himself in 100%. The Premier League.
100%.
So time for Callum Hudson-Odoi to step it up. Okay, we missed out on Rafinha. Fine, cool. Didn't want a Lukaku 2.0 again. What if he would have joined us and started throwing tantrums one season later? Oh, I want to go to Barcelona. I want to go to Barcelona. Again, the same situation would have happened.
Exactly, and this is one of my worries with Rafinha. Some are saying maybe he's not the one that's the issue. Deco is, but that's a different story. We want to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo now, because you touched on, we don't. Yeah, you want to create it from the middle who can dink those balls in. But what about that striker up front? We have issues over there. I want to now talk to you about Cristiano Ronaldo. Once again, not wanting to talk about the possibility of him coming in, because I feel like there is a huge possibility. Some are trying to deny the fact. There is literally one club at the moment. Even Bayern Munich has said they're out of the race. So it's up to Jorge Mendes and Todd Bowley to see if we can. At the end of the day, this guy wants Champions League football. Chelsea's the best placed at the moment, and it gives him one big opportunity to win this one more time. If anything, Chelsea Football Club is probably good when it comes to knockout football, as opposed to a Premier League season. So that's a separate story. But Baba, what I want to talk to you about in regards to Cristiano Ronaldo, he does not press. He's 37. He will ruin our team. Look at what happened to Manchester United. He was the bad apple in that bunch. Look at what they're going through. And I hear these things, Baba, and honestly, I sometimes sit down and I'm going, you've got to be kidding, right? This guy has won the most. I saw some stats yesterday. It absolutely blew my head off. Most Premier League Man of the Match awards last season, Cristiano Ronaldo.
He was their player of the season last season.
Player of the season, their top goal scorer.
Third in the Premier League.
Third in the Premier League, just behind Salah and Son. I mean, you've got to be kidding me, thinking negatively about this guy. Now, look, my feeling is that Man United team, yes, it's got some good names, but the structure there, the manager,
it was the worst Manchester United team I've ever seen since I've been watching football, to be honest.
Exactly. So, look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we always knew he had massive holes in his coaching, expertise. That whole club from top to bottom, from ownership, was always a mess, regardless of what you were saying. There was always drama in that particular club, whether it was Luis Van Gaal, whether it was Jose Mourinho, always there was some drama. Ronaldo coming in, not to say we don't have drama, but we've got a better structure. Thomas Tuchel is a better manager, much, much better manager. We are now under a new ownership, and I'm only talking about 1 year contract, possibly a short-term contract, so he can come in, do his thing, and then find his, path elsewhere. Maybe 1 more year extension after that. But I want to ask you, when you hear these things that he can't press, he's one of the most fittest players out there. And people think when you press like a crazy headless chicken everywhere and anywhere. You press as a unit. Ronaldo will not need to press here and there and everywhere, he will probably just need to press one particular player. Then his partners come and press others. It's a unit that happens. Off the ball, okay, maybe you may have to give him some sort of a pass at times. But if we predominantly play against teams where we control the ball, he may not have to do that much off the ball when it comes to defending. But yes, that's something maybe we need to look at. But you're guaranteed for goals. And someone like Raheem Sterling will benefit as well, having a player like Ronaldo up there, and along with the rest of the team. I mean, what do you have to say about this whole pressing, his ego? All of this will be a trouble for Chelsea Football Club, wages and whatnot.
I think, again, when we talk about media created narrative, social media created narrative, this thing is one of those. Let's go back to Juventus. He was there for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So first season, Allegri was the manager. They won the Serie A. He scored 37 goals. Next season, Sarri was the manager. They again won the Serie A. He scored 36 goals. Third season, Pirlo was the manager. He still was the top scorer in Serie A for 3 straight seasons. 29 goals he scored. I mean, people out of the 3 seasons, in 2 seasons he won the Serie A. Okay, let's not forget that. Okay, people are like, okay, Cristiano Ronaldo has left now. Players can, express themselves on the field. Some of the fans, I heard them saying on Twitter, like, oh, because of Cristiano Ronaldo's arrival, our structure got disturbed because of him.
Dybala can't play anymore. Dybala is not performing. This guy is not performing because of him.
This guy is not performing. Bruno got compromised in Manchester United because of this. The structure got haywire, this and that. I mean, what structure are you talking about? The structure which does not deliver any trophies in last 5 seasons.
Exactly.
What good is this structure?
They came second by chance the season before that.
Yes.
They weren't the second best team in the Premier League.
No, they were 15 points behind Man City. They got second because Frank Lampard was sacked from Chelsea. Mourinho was sacked from Spurs, and Liverpool had all sorts of problems with personal tragedies with Klopp and Alisson, and injuries to major players like Fabinho, Van Dijk, and Joe Gomez, and all of those players. Even Mane had missed a lot of season because of injuries and bad form. So the context people don't really look at. All people need to look at. There is this screenshot circulating around Twitter. Ronaldo's press per 90 is 1 press per 90, 1 pressure per 90. I mean, exactly what you said. To press does not mean to, roam around like headless chicken. For example, if we are playing a team which employs a low block on the field, like for example, we play a team like Burnley, who obviously have been relegated, but I'm just giving an example. Why would Ronaldo need to press in that system? He will only need to finish. And forget all that. I say, okay, he does not press. He is a liability. Let's assume that for a minute.
Let's assume that.
Okay. What we saw last season was the lowest point in Chelsea's attacking history. 100 million striker having 7 touches in a match against Crystal Palace. That is the lowest point.
By the way, one of the touches out of the 7 was a kickoff.
Was a kickoff, yes. And still we won that game. The amazing part is that ZH won that game for us in the last minute, I remember. So the thing is, it can't get worse than that. What I'm trying to say is. And from day one, it is maintained. Todd Bowley is keen on bringing Ronaldo to Stamford Bridge, but he wants Tuchel's approval. If Tuchel says that he wants Ronaldo, then only Todd Bowley will go ahead with the negotiations. So if Ronaldo comes to Stamford Bridge, if Ronaldo comes to Chelsea, you have to believe that Thomas Tuchel has something planned out for him. And if he doesn't, then you know that Thomas Tuchel does not need him, which I would be quite baffled if the whole transfer windows go by and we
I
don't
would
have
find it very
Ronaldo.
strange. I completely understand that Thomas Tuchel's philosophy is fluid front three. He wants high intensity. He wants defending from the beginning. I completely get that. Obviously, he had a shocker with Romelu Lukaku. He thought he could do a lot more, but maybe Romelu Lukaku didn't understand or he's not capable of doing. Okay, that's one side of the story. The other thing is, Baba, how can Thomas Tuchel not be wanting to coach or manage? I'm not sure if you can coach a player like Ronaldo, but manage a player like Cristiano Ronaldo who comes once in a lifetime, these sort of players. How would a manager be like, oh, no, that's a no for me. I don't want that guy. Like, it's just weird.
See, the other side of the coin is that he is not in his prime anymore. Like, he's 37. The only thing that he gives you is he's an out and out goal scorer. So he does not bring anything to the table much apart from that. But that is what we need right now. We need an out and out goal scorer. We don't need anything else, to be fair. And the thing is, if he has a rough patch, you can't bench him. Because Havertz, if he's having a rough patch, Werner, if he's having a rough patch, then there is no problem if you bench those players. But if you bench Cristiano Ronaldo, it becomes the most burning news.
Do you think that could be a bit of a concern? Do you think that
I think that is
managing
something.
the ego?
Yes, that is something which Thomas Tuchel, if at all Cristiano Ronaldo has to come to Stamford Bridge, this is something that Tuchel, Boli, Mendes, Ronaldo, all the four guys have to sit together and they have to sort it out beforehand. Like, see, you are 37 years old. I need you in the big games. There might be a patch of 3 or 4 games where you might not score goals or something is not working out in the system. I may need to switch systems in mid-season. You still be an important part of the team. But listen, there would be occasions where I'll have to bench you and you would have to support it and put team sometimes in front of yourself.
And I guess you have to also understand, I'm Thomas Tuchel. I'm the boss of this company. This is my company. I'm the boss, and you're my employee. So let's understand that situation. Let's move on to the third player. We've talked about Sterling. We've talked about Ronaldo. Some of the fans' concerns. I know some of you guys who are watching this right now, which is obviously premiering, probably still a bit upset that why are we getting Sterling or why are we getting Ronaldo and whatnot. Well, we have not got Ronaldo. Or why are we entertaining the thought of Ronaldo? Appreciate the different perspectives. Understand the different perspectives. Nothing is right or wrong. Like, I'm not right. Baba's not right. But we're not wrong either. No,
I mean,
I
see, MIZ, no Chelsea fan would have, said one thing against Lukaku's signing.
Yeah.
It was like all sunshine and rainbows because we were on such a high. We had won the Champions League. We had won the Super Cup against Villarreal. So everything was so positive and we had such a brilliant start to the season. And Lukaku coming in, he's the last piece of the puzzle and all of this and that. 97.5 million pounds. Oh, nothing to worry. 2 seasons. He's a beast under Antonio Conte. He has had
he's changed. He's a changed man.
He's a changed man. He's coming home. DrogBABA and Henry has sent him with his blessings, this and that. What happened?
Everything down the drain.
And so why... you can't think about Ronaldo in the same way. Like, if you are being negative, why can't you be positive for once? Like, okay, if Ronaldo is available for 20 million, give him a year or a 2-year contract. Let's see what happens. Thiago Silva was a punt. He worked out brilliantly for us. The 3rd season with us, we only gave him a contract for 1 season last time round with an option to extend for another year. And this is 3rd season for us. And who knows, if he has a good season and he remains fit, we might, see him play.
He's saying he
for us next
more.
Season.
He's saying he wants to play the 4th and 5th season if he's fit enough. So
he's already a Chelsea legend in my books. Thiago Silva.
For me as well. He's a Chelsea legend.
Yes.
But yeah, absolutely right, Baba. Let's talk about the last particular player that's in concern at the moment is De Ligt. The concern regarding this is not really the player himself. It's more the way we are running the show in regards. We've got a gaping hole in defense. But more than anything, more than Raheem Sterling or anyone else, defense is something that it is looking, staring at us, saying, "Brother, there's no one there. Like, we need some bodies there." So De Ligt comes into the frame, another one of Thomas Tuchel's selection. Apparently, this is the guy that Thomas Tuchel wants. And it seems like I wanted to use this analogy in my life. I probably still will do this, but I might share it right now. It's like one of those situations, Baba, where you talk to a girl, you really sweet talk her, you flirt and this and that, but you're too scared to ask her out. You're too scared to ask her, right? You do everything else. And then comes another, strong guy, just simply goes in there. Come on, let's go out for dinner tonight. And she goes off with that guy. And you're left behind thinking, I did all that work, what happened? But you never asked her out. I feel like this is the De Ligt situation where, honestly, stop dilly-dallying. Thomas Tuchel wants him. Just go and get him. Because Bayern are now sniffing around the corner, and apparently the word is they're getting close. And the player is getting convinced with this situation. Dutch, Germany, it might not be the most toughest transition. It may even actually be most smoothest transition, as opposed to, I suppose, Dutch background of playing in the Italian sort of Serie A, coming into London, different environment and whatnot. I mean, Baba, what do you think about this situation? I'm scared that we're about to lose another one. Like, too many players have been lost in this transfer window so far. Rafinha is another situation, which we won't talk about, but everyone knows. How you feel about the De Ligt stuff?
I think how I see this situation is that we have asked the girl out, but the thing is, we are the new guys in the town. So girl does not feel confident going out with us. And we might be, having the most shiniest of the cars. We might have cash in our pockets. We might take her out for a good dinner, but we are the new guy in the
We're not
town.
experienced. We're not experienced.
We are not experienced. So the other guys have connections and whatnot. So I think that is the same situation right now. Todd Bowley is new in the European football scene, and we see, this is the thing. Like the other day, I was seeing this this Twitter account. I won't name the account. It was like, we have bottled this deal, that deal, this. These all players have gone out of our hands. I was like, it's not like your club is not trying, bro. We are trying, but you have to look at how clubs do their business. It's the personnel at the club, it's the people at the club who drive the negotiations, the transfer. The structure is made by the people who are working at the club. Currently, we have lost two of the big names. I'm not talking about any players. I'm talking about Marina Granovskaya and Peter Cech. They were the ones who were driving everything. So you have to understand that it is a transition that we are in right now. We are still the highest bidders in Rafinha's case. It is the player's desire to not to join Chelsea. So it is not our owner's fault. Same with De Ligt situation. Bayern can't match our offer. The last report I read was that instead of matching Chelsea's offer, Bayern will try to convince De Ligt to snub Chelsea and join Bayern Munich.
Because they want to do some sort of a better personal agreement or whatnot, which I'm sure we can do as well. But you're right. Bayern is trying to convince the player.
Because Bayern have people like Salih Hamidich, Oliver Kahn in their ranks. So they have better connections.
Experience so much.
And Todd Bowley is all in one right now, with Thomas Tuchel being his assistant in all of this. Todd Bowley,
and I'm pretty sure Thomas Tuchel has not done director of football job before.
Yes, so it will take time, and we are bound to lose on targets. See, this is not Roman era anymore, but the thing that as Chelsea fans you should be happy about, that at least the owner is not willing to back down or pay that extra money for the targets that the manager wants. Why are you not giving any credit to Todd Bowley for this? I mean, this is absolutely something I refuse to go with, that the owners are not doing anything. Or okay, initially I was also quite frustrated that we are being monitored FC, interested FC, agreed personal terms, considering FC, all of those stuff. But now when I look at it, it was the internal stuff that first Todd Bowley needed to sort out with Marina and Peter Cech. Once now this is sorted out, that okay, we have a clarity that they're not staying. See, we have closed the Sterling deal so quickly. And
Apparently, it all
Kunde,
started from Marina. Marina's the one who started the conversation with Sterling a long
yes,
time ago.
yes, and the thing is, Kunde was board signing, was Marina signing. So Kunde was not really wanted by Tuchel. He always wanted Delete. So we have
Mm-hmm.
submitted a proposal for Delete. We have not submitted any proposal to Sevilla for Jules Kunde. So we are doing our bit. But
Yeah,
if the player and his agent has better terms with the other clubs who have more experienced personnel in their ranks, so we can't do anything about it. It's like we are the novice in the transfer market right now, and it will take time. It will take 2 to 3 seasons for us to make those connections. So it's
true.
fine. It's fine if we lose out on some targets. See, there are four names in the center backs that we were linked to: Koulibaly,
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Ake, Jules Koundé, and Delete.
Mm.
So I think Barcelona cannot sign both Koulibaly and Koundé.
Mm.
And if
There's also
Delete,
talks about Kimpembe as well. Apparently, there's
yes,
some
Kimpembe.
rumors for Kimpembe.
Yes, Kimpembe is there. So see, the thing is, I think definitely out of the five names that we have mentioned, two will arrive. Definitely,
Mm.
I believe. Nathan Ake, okay, suddenly the reports have died down in last 3 or 4 days or so, because Pep has said that he admires Ake and he won't let him go until he finds a suitable replacement for him.
Mm. Mm.
So Koulibaly is there. Koulibaly is also available, but apparently Juventus are eyeing him as Delete
Mm.
replacement.
Delict's replacement. Yeah.
So Jules Koundé is linked to Barcelona, but Barcelona are in all kinds of financial mess right
They're
now,
linked
and
with Kunde. They're
hmm,
linked with Rafinha. They're linked with
Lavender.
Lewandowski. They're linked
Yeah.
with Aspilicueta. They're linked with Alonso. They're linked
Hmm.
with Bernardo Silva.
Hmm.
You're not buying any one of them. Maybe one.
I mean, it is hard for me to really comprehend that. Even if they activate the economic levers, how easy it would be for them to adjust all these players in their wage bill. They have to let go of Frankie De Jong. They have no option. So it creates opportunity for us to pounce on the other players which they might fail to sign. So
Exactly.
Kunde, if somehow, even if the personal terms are agreed, but the move breaks down last moment because of the finances, I think Chelsea have opportunity there. So
Exactly.
we have to be patient. It is only 7th of July today, when we are
Mm,
recording
mm.
this video right now. There is still better part of 1.5 months still remaining in the transfer window. So I think it is not right to start pressing the panic button right now. I get it. People in the comment section might say, "Oh, look at Man City. They've got Haaland, Alvarez, Calvin Phillips going after Kukurea. Then Liverpool have got this Benfica striker Darwin Nunes,
Darwin
and
Nunez, yeah.
look at the window that Arsenal is having. Look at the window that Spurs is having, and what we are doing
Mm.
right now." So look at the personnel also there. No, look at what work Edu has been
Yeah.
doing with
Look at their
Arteta.
establishment. They've been running
Look
for a
at this.
while.
Yes.
Except for Spurs. Spurs are doing something
But Fabrizio
outrageous.
Paratici, again, the sporting director there, Paratici, who's the
Well
sporting director,
experienced. Well
well
experienced.
experienced,
Yeah.
well connected. So all of these things, play a major role when it comes to recruiting players. But again, I don't have any complaints from the owners, to be honest. The early
Mm.
signs are very good. The only thing is, see, there are two things. First is you are not showing any ambition or any intention, and the second thing is you are
Mm.
failing to negotiate or close down deals. So I'm okay
Correct.
with the second one. I'm okay with we are not able to close down deals,
At
but
least
at
you're
least we are
trying. At least you're
at least we
trying.
are
Yeah.
trying. At least we are trying. So as Chelsea fans, we need to understand this and we need to back the owners. And just tell me, if you're not willing to do that, what other option you have right now as a Chelsea
Get new owners again. Let's
fan.
vote.
I mean, it is so easy to, tweet anything on social media, say anything that, "Oh, look at that club is doing this. Aston Villa has got Kamara out of nowhere, and they have done
Mm.
so many good signings and all these things." See, people are not willing to, look at the broader picture, and the context is very different with all of these clubs. So but still, Chelsea and Todd Bowley are aware what center backs we need. In worst case scenario, one center back we sign and Levi Colwill is promoted. into the
Correct.
first team.
Correct.
So
There's
you
a
should be
positive
happy
there.
that, yes, you should be happy as a Chelsea fan that a Cobham graduate will get his due.
And let's not forget, Chalobah is going to be in his second season. He'll be hopefully high flying into it. Look, I like your approach, Baba. What you're saying is stay patient, and maybe it's not the end of the world if you don't get De Ligt. There are other fish in this particular sea.
I mean, going back to Lampard's first season, did you think that we'll end up in the top four?
I was probably one of the few that expected us to be top four.
I didn't expect it because when I saw that lineup against Manchester United in the first game when we lost 4-0, I was shaken to my core. What is this? What Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount? And because I was not following Chelsea that season. In the past season, I was not following them. So I did not really know what all players we had sent out on loan. So I was like, what is this? What is this lineup? How we are going to survive against the likes of City, Liverpool, and all of those? Yeah. But we got into the Champions League. We won the Champions League. We won the competition next season. And we were able to get some good players like Werner, Havertz, the next window. But yeah, I mean, see, you have to look at this way. If transfer ban was not imposed on us, we might not have a Reece James or a Mason Mount right now in our team.
Correct. And what a find Reece James has been. So, yeah.
So let's be positive. Let's be patient. People are on about why are not going for Declan Rice, why are not signing a defensive midfielder who can play in a single pivot if we are to go at a back four. You want everything. You don't want Ronaldo. You want a good forward, but you don't want Sterling. So this is not the way it works. You have to show some patience and you have to show some faith on the manager, and you have to believe that whatever player he's targeting. See, I'm very excited about Conor Gallagher, for example, how he slots into the team next season. And there are a lot of young players, but there are talks of Ethan Ampadu also when he returns. So he might be a center back option if we are not able to sign anyone. So it is not all gloom and doom. It is just that the first choice targets that we are after, we might not get them, but it's okay. I'm fine with that.
No, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Look, I always knew that we can't do all of this in one window. So I know he's been promised 5 or 6 signings. Let's see what happens. So far, at least Sterling's in, and hopefully we can address a few more positions. Baba, we are going to end the show now. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. The 3 players we talked about addressing their fans' concerns. Let us know in the comment section below, what you thought about some of our conversations, what parts you agree, disagree, what are your concerns perhaps. My son is in the background. He's calling my name. So I'm going to have to end this very, very soon. But before I go, please make sure you subscribe to DrogBABA. The link is in the description. Yes, predominantly it is in Hindi. So to all my subcontinental viewers out there, if you don't already follow, I'm pretty sure you follow. He's an absolute superstar in that part of the world. So if you don't follow, go and follow. And to all the people that are wanting to try something different, because DrogBABA, yes, it's in Hindi, but he does have a lot of English dialogues in between it as well. So I'm pretty sure you will understand what he's talking about. I understand because I understand Hindi. So, but it's up to you guys. The link is in the description. Make sure you follow. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have Baba here again in the channel sometime down the track. And we shall do this again. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.
Up the Chels.